Welcome. This is Property Analysis Worksheet Sample 1. This is an email that I received from a wholesaler, and below it is my response. This amateur wholesaler submitted this property. The ARV is $390,000, the wholesale price $255,000, repairs $40 to $50K. He did not provide any substantiation of these numbers. I went on to Realtor.com and I found this property listed for $249,000. So apparently this wholesaler put in an offer for $249,000, got it under contract, is now trying to flip it for a $6,000 profit. We don't know how he came up with these numbers, 40K to 50K. We don't know how he got the ARV. In looking at the neighborhood and looking at information online, it looks like this property is actually worth about $350,000. However, I decided to use the ARV as stated, the repairs as stated, and I ran some numbers. This is the analysis worksheet. I used a very high investment to value, 80%. The hard cost to ARV rate is 67%. That's a little bit high. Usually hard money lenders want 65% max. I know there are some hard money lenders that will loan 100% loan to cost with a loan to ARV of 70%. So this is doable if the ARV is correct and if the other numbers are correct. I calculated approximately 4 months total turnaround, 14% annualized interest-only rate, that's $31.85 per month. There's no indication of what the HOA is, but this is in a golf club community, therefore I added something for the monthly HOA. And I rolled in 4 points, which comes to about 12% annualized rate. I included an assignment fee of 3% of the ARV. That's very reasonable. Project manager fee of $4,000. That's about $1,000 a month to manage this project. Also included carrying costs as calculated down here under total carrying costs. Exit cost, 1% cost to sell. Buyer incentives of 3% of ARV to pay the buyer's closing costs. And 6% co-op commission for realtors to find a ready, willing, and able buyer. The listing broker and the buyer's broker will split this fee. Now I went through the calculations and I created worksheets for the price justification. This is what I would give to my buyer's broker, or I would give to the seller to show the justification for my price. There's nothing in here that indicates what I think the ARV is, and therefore what my anticipated profit margin is. There's also a quick turn summary. This is what I would give to the private financier or the hard money lender to show the calculations for the cost going in, the cost going out, and the analysis of the financing structure. Purchase price $176, hard costs on entry $86, total hard cost financing $262,000. This is within hard money lending guidelines. Soft costs on exit, these are the costs needed to get out of the deal to sell to a retail buyer. I don't need any cash for this because these costs will be paid from my HUD-1 settlement statement when I sell to the retail buyer from the money that the retail buyer brought to the closing table. And the profit margin of 20% after repaired value we're assuming is $390,000. I also have a summary of my power team, the real estate broker, general contractor, attorney, accountant, design and staging consultant, and the retail mortgage broker. Project summary and qualifications, And I would also include a JPEG image of my signature in the spreadsheet template, so I wouldn't have to insert it every time. Now if I were flipping this deal, I would use the wholesale opportunity sheet, which basically has the same information. This is the PDF version of that quick turn investment summary spreadsheet. I'll save it as a PDF file and email it to private financiers or hard money lenders. I could also use the mail merge template for the private financing. It shows the ARV, subtracting the profit margin, the total investment to value, itemizes the hard cost going in, soft cost going out, maximum allowable offer. The acquisition price, the maximum allowable offer, plus the entry costs. This is the total cash required for this project, 67% of the ARV. Monthly debt service is 14% annualized interest only. So we have a private note principal of $262,500. This is the total amount of cash we're borrowing. We're also rolling in $10,500 in deferred interest. Rehab and renovation price justification. This is what I would show to the real estate broker or to the seller to show my total investment, and then subtracting my hard costs going in, my soft costs going out, maximum allowable offer. It explains it very clearly, very simply. And this is like a letter of intent. It's not binding. If I can get the seller to sign this, it means that they have looked at the map, they understand it, and they want to go ahead with getting a binding offer. If I were wholesaling this, I could use the mail merge template for the wholesale opportunity summary sheet. It shows the ARV, profit margin going in, hard costs and soft costs, property acquisition price, total cash required. This is what I would make available to my list of wholesale buyers. If you want to operate as a professional wholesaler, either as a wholesale seller or a wholesale buyer, you need to use accurate tools and automate your business. Don't be an amateur like this one. He says it depends on the cost of money. I also ran this number with private financing from a private lender using self-directed individual retirement account financing, and the cost difference was only about $5,000 or $6,000. So this is clearly an amateur who doesn't know what he's doing. If he sends me a few more of these deals, I will remove myself from his mailing list and he will not bother me anymore. He'll probably go out of business, not realizing the correct way to analyze properties and to present a wholesale deal that he could sell. This has been Property Analysis Worksheet Sample Analysis Video number 1. My name is Jeffrey Smith, and thank you for your support.